Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Vito Lanuti here on TAP Instructional Videos. In this video, we're going to talk about the receipts and disbursements. This is going to be part of the program that is going to experience probably most of the activity, a lot of activity, however that shakes out, because it is the ins and outs of your checking accounts. So we're going to open up the Mary Smith Trust. We've got a lot of entries already in here, and so you're going to find receipts and disbursements under your accounting schedules. And if we take a really quick look at what we have in our accounting schedules in general: receipts and disbursements, gain, loss on sale, property sale expenses, disbursements to beneficiaries of non-cash items, separate charges and credits, ending inventory. Okay, those are the main things. Let's look at our subject matter of today: receipts and disbursements. Now, the first thing to notice is we have our drop-down list of all of our bank accounts that are in existence, cash accounts. As I emphasize cash accounts because you see our Morgan Stanley account here has a cash portion. If it is the type of brokerage account that allows you to write checks, then you may want to list that cash account under the cash accounts. And then you could record the transfers and payments made out of that account. All right. Here we have different ways of sorting the grid down below. We don't have a lot of entries here, but if you do have a lot of entries, you might want to look at it in ascending or descending order, or any of these items, check number or payments, deposits, whatever, however you want that sorted. Additionally, in this grid, you can define the date range that you want to look at. So if you just want to look at the month of April, you would be able to do that. Moving quickly over to our categories, we can see what categories we have here on our receipts, and these are the typical categories that we have pulled out of the Uniform Principal and Income Act. Those are for receipts. These are for disbursements. Okay, we'll come back to this in just one moment. And then disbursements to beneficiary, and you have some subcategories here. This is still going to be a disbursement item of cash. So we disperse cash out of a bank account. We disperse in-kind assets under disbursements to beneficiaries non-cash, which is over here. Here are some examples of reasons why you would be making disbursements to a beneficiary. Okay, so let's cancel that. I want to show you how to add a category. It's very simple. Here it is receipts, and we're going to go. So this appears on top. Additional easy for me to say. Okay, and we select add, and we show our receipts again, and we have additional category showing right there. Okay, now conceptually, we have a lot of movement between bank accounts. Some of them are payments, some of them are disbursements, some of them are receipts. Some of them are not. So we have two categories here: transfer funds in on the receipt side, transfer funds out on the disbursement side. So what are these? In some of our earlier videos, and when we did the transfers and additional property, we emphasized that transfers neither increase or decrease the universe of the trust or estate. In other words, if I move $1,000 from Wells Fargo to Bank of America, I still have $1,000. I don't have zero and I don't have $2,000. So what we're going to do here is we look at our balance on additional bank here of $1,000. That's not enough for us to do business. So what I'm going to do is move $25,000 from my Morgan Stanley cash account, okay, over to our additional bank account. So I'm going to just note this as a transfer, and 25,000, and that's going to be transfer to additional account. Okay, and the selection is extremely important. Okay, so this is going to be transfer funds out, and you'll see that now our account is $65,000 less. The corresponding transaction that we need to do is go to additional account. Okay, this is a transfer in. That goes on the receipt side because it's going to be a positive number from Morgan Stanley. Okay, and if I just type in TR, the transfer funds in will appear. Now, if we look at these two bank accounts, 26,000 here and 65,000 in Morgan Stanley, as you can see, we have the same amount of money. There's no increase or decrease. Okay, so now we're ready to do some business. We're going to make a payment to the assessor of $1,000. That's going to be for property taxes. There we have taxes. Let's look at what we have here. Here we have a more specific category, property taxes. When I first typed in property, it came up with property sale expenses. It's another category we're going to talk about in a moment. And then we select save, and you have your running balance here. Let's go First Street, 2,500, and that's going to be rents. Okay, so here we have so your transactions are going to show in whichever column you're talking about, and then you have a running balance over here. So here we have our $1,000 property taxes. Here we have our $2,500 in rents. Okay, under disbursements, another category to be aware of is going to be property sale expenses. Now, property sale expenses relate to where you are selling any type of property and you're making a payment of the property sale expense directly out of the bank account. Making a payment directly out of the bank account. If you are making the payment out of the escrow, then that would be reported over here under property sale expenses. So we have corresponding categories here depending on where that payment is coming from. Okay, so last thing is you can reconcile your bank account. We have a reconciliation feature here under Tools that's related to and connected to receipts and disbursements. And the first thing you need to do when you're preparing to reconcile your bank account is uncheck any outstanding items. Okay, an outstanding item is going to be an item that has not cleared your bank account. So in any particular month, it's most likely going to be items towards the end of the month, but not necessarily. If someone held on to the check and hasn't deposited it, they could be any time during that month. So this is Receipts and Disbursements. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that this gives you some additional insight on how to use this portion of the program.